Inside the grand but crumbling Frontera mansion, Lloyd sat across the long dining table from his father, Baron Arcus. The atmosphere was tense. Lloyd glanced at his father, trying to hide his discomfort. Arcus had been avoiding him ever since construction began on the estate, afraid of getting his hopes crushed again. Cutting into his food, Arcus finally spoke. He was ready to listen. With a calm face, Lloyd casually mentioned that the innkeeper had ordered floor heating, and he had completed the work. He kept it brief, wanting to avoid unnecessary explanation. Arcus raised an eyebrow, surprised. "So, now you're taking contracts from villagers?" Lloyd nodded. His father's expression hardened. "These residents are valuable. If you betray their trust, I won't forgive you." Lloyd closed his eyes and calmly replied, "You won't have to worry about that." But inside, he was pained. No matter what he did, no one believed in him, not even now. He excused himself from the table and left, unable to take more of his father's passive doubt. Arcus sat quietly, assuming his son was only acting out due to family stress. "I can handle this myself," he muttered, just as he always had in the past. But Lloyd knew better now. He remembered those very words from his previous life, words that turned out to be empty. Back then, he believed everything was fine, until it all collapsed. In the hallway, Lloyd tallied up the orders he had received, 32 for Model A and 50 for Model B. He had already collected almost half the deposit. But then, two unwelcome figures crossed his path, the loan sharks, Sho and Meatloaf. To Lloyd's surprise, they actually greeted him. Something was off. The loan sharks entered Baron Arcus's study and got straight to business. One sat smugly on the edge of the desk and demanded payment. "It's been over 5 days. Do you plan to keep us waiting?" The fat one, Meatloaf, sneered. "Sell your furniture. That should get you enough." Lloyd watched silently from the shadows, and then his engineer system activated. Plus 36 RP, relationship with Baron improved. A system message appeared. "You can now invest RP to improve talents." Another message chimed in sarcastically. "Finally, I get to explain this properly." Then added, "Okay, maybe not. Figure it out yourself." Lloyd smirked and opened his skill panel. Upgrade available. Topographic survey, 15 RP. Design, 15 RP. He had enough points, and he spent them instantly. Suddenly, a glowing circle rose from the floor around him. His body surged with knowledge. Soil mechanics, hydrology, structural design, concrete and steelworks, and more. Leaning out the window, Lloyd saw a virtual design grid stretching across the land. Even without GPS, he could now see topography with his eyes alone. He drew an entire structural layout mid-air, amazed. A project that used to take hours by hand now happened in seconds. But he wasn't done yet. The system then offered something new: phantom summoning. Using RP, summon a phantom ally with unique skills to assist you. It looked like something from a video game ad. Lloyd was intrigued. A phantom partner might even be a dragon or a mythical creature. But the cost? 50 RP. He had only 49, one short. That meant only one thing. He needed more RP. And to earn it, he had to deepen relationships with key characters. Back in the study, the situation had gotten worse. Meatloaf slammed his fist on the desk. "If you're that broke, sell your wife and kid. Might get a decent price." Arcus was stunned. "What did you say?" That's when Lloyd stepped in. Placing a firm hand on Meatloaf's shoulder, he said coldly, "Even if you're a creditor, you will maintain basic decency." Meatloaf recoiled. "Who the hell are you?" Baron Arcus stammered. "My son." Lloyd didn't hesitate. "Show me your invitation letter." The room fell silent. He bowed his head, then spoke clearly. According to Kingdom Law, Chapter 3, Article 6, all nobles are subjects of the king and have the right to protect their property. Entering a noble's estate without permission is a criminal intrusion. The loan sharks scoffed, until Lloyd called in Xavier, the loyal knight. "Cut off their hands," Lloyd ordered. Xavier unsheathed his sword with no hesitation. The thugs broke into a cold sweat. "You're crazy!" Lloyd raised his chin, calm and confident. "Then let's take it to court, and see whose side the kingdom takes." Faced with the law and a deadly sword, the thugs fled the mansion in panic, swearing revenge. Lloyd laughed. Cowards. Arcus stared in disbelief at what just happened. "What have you done?" Lloyd calmly placed a bag on the table. "I had hoped to return the full deposit, but this is enough to cover this month's interest." Xavier stepped forward and assured the Baron, "I will personally see to it that Lloyd honors his contracts." For the first time, Arcus noticed the knight's expression, one of complete faith. As they walked down the corridor, Xavier muttered, "Didn't expect a fool like you to know noble law." Lloyd shrugged. "Just heard it somewhere." The truth was, Xavier himself had quoted it in the novel, after the Baron and his wife died. Back then, he had used that very law to protect their graves, and executed 2 grave robbers in court. It paid to know the plot. Just then, another notification popped up. +6 Baron Arcus interest, plus 60 RP gained. Total, 61%. Lloyd smiled. Everything was going exactly as planned. Now, it was time to summon a phantom.